Well, hey guys, here I am proud to present you this 2011 Ford Crown Victoria LX. This one is in a black exterior with a beige leather interior. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop inside and start it up. So here's the key for the vehicle. This is Ford's older key design. It is not one of the newer integrated keys. You have the standard key blade and the separate remote with lock, unlock, panic, and trunk release functions. Now coming to the door, you have your chrome accented door handles, as well as Ford's keyless entry system. Now the first thing I notice is the doors feel very solid and very stout and heavy, almost like bank vaults. So let's go ahead and start it up and let it run. Just insert the key into the ignition. So, as you can see, this has the updated gauge cluster that Ford introduced in the 2006 year model for the Crown Victoria with the separate tachometer and speedometer. The 2005 and older models did not have a tachometer. As you can see on the LX, you do have a screen display that has your digital speedometer. So let's go ahead and cut on the automatic headlights, as well as the hazards, and take a look at the exterior, shall we? Now this Crown Victoria does come with an automatic down driver's side window. It is only automatic down, no automatic up function on this one. There's your power mirror controls, the rest of your power windows, power window locks, as well as power door locks, door handle, as well as your power seat adjustment located on the door. Closing the door sounds very solid and very sure. Coming around to the front of the Crown Victoria, you notice you have your standard halogen reflector beam headlights as well as your orange turn signals next to it. Now, one way to distinguish a regular Crown Victoria apart from a P71 or Police Interceptor is the chrome grille. The Crown Victoria P71 came with a black plastic grille that had a honeycomb design, whereas the regular Crown Civilians was equipped with a chrome plastic grille, which looks very nice. Now, I personally think the Crown Victoria has aged very well. This is the last production year for the Crown Victoria, sadly. And it had remained in production for as long as I can remember. When I was born back in 1995, it was in production, and it just now stopped production in 2011. And I wish they would have updated the car, but they didn't really need it anymore. They had their Taurus to replace it with. So coming around to the rear, you can see you have your standard triangular Crown Victoria tail lamps, as well as a chrome trim bottom of the trunk lid. You have your Crown Victoria badge here, as well as your triangular reverse lights that are next to the license plate. That's a classic Crown Victoria thing. Flex fuel badge down below. As you can see, this one only has a single exhaust outlet, and that is another way to distinguish a civilian Crown Victoria versus a P71. The P71s will have a dual exhaust, which is a little bit freer flowing, which allows the engine to produce a little bit more power. The wheels on this one, 225/60 R17, so 17-inch aluminum alloy wheels, look very nice. Help the Crown Victoria have a much more modern look. As you can see, you do have pinstriping coming down the side, which works very well with your beige leather interior. Black plastic mirror caps, as well as your windshield wipers. So let's go ahead and jump back in the vehicle. Now, as I said, this Crown Victoria does come with an automatic down driver's side window, which I'll roll up now, as well as your power mirror controls. There's your door handle. The top of the door, very soft touch, very padded, very plush feeling. You have a harder touch section here, but still feels very solid. And then back to the soft touch material. The hard touch material was to make room for the power seat controls. Padded armrest, and then everything from here down is a harder plastic material, but it's still very solid and substantial. Here's your trunk release right here. So I'll go ahead and pop that and we'll take a look. Coming around to the trunk of the Crown Victoria, you will be amazed as to how much room the car actually has. As you can see, I have my tripod in there and it absolutely swallows the tripod. The trunk is very deep with little trays on the side where you can store your stuff, as well as the spare tire, traditional storage place for the Crown Victoria. It's a little space saver spare. So the trunk of the Crown Victoria is absolutely massive, as well as you have an emergency release lever on top. Trunk sounds good when you close it. So coming back around to the interior, the first thing you notice is how incredibly comfortable the seats are. There's plenty of thigh support, plenty of lumbar support. You have all the adjustments you could possibly ever think of needing, and then some. So here's the controls, recline, there's your seat tilt, as well as your sliding. So I'll go ahead and shut off the hazards and the headlights, turn those back on automatic. So interior materials, top of the dash, very soft touch, very plush, very padded, feels very substantial. Turn the air down a little bit, it's making a lot of noise. And then you have your glove box lid, which is harder touch but still not very flimsy at all. Faux wood graining trim right here with the Crown Victoria logo right there. Here you have your radio, which I won't be able to demonstrate sadly because of YouTube copyright issues. There's your air vents right there, as well as your AC controls down below. Single zone automatic climate control. Rear defrost. Coming down, you have cup holders that fold out here, just like that, and you can see they adjust. There's your ashtray, a 12-volt power outlet, as well as a separate cup holder for the passenger. So just slide this back in. All you have to do is push up, and it pops right back into place. The dash materials here are harder to the touch, but they're very solid and very substantial. Don't sound cheap and hollow or anything like that. There's your passenger airbag indicator right here. There's the glove box. It is a pretty decent sized glove box. It is not damped or anything like that, and the lid is hard touch, but at least it holds plenty of stuff. And as you can see, this one does have the dual center armrest. The P71s do not come equipped with that. They just have a split bench seat to allow for all the police equipment right here. Folding the armrest up reveals a third middle seat. You can have a small passenger sit in between the driver and passenger. And also you have your third row seat, your third seat belt right here. This one does have beige carpets, very clean. This vehicle comes with Ford's 4-speed automatic with low gear selection. There's first, second, drive. No reverse backup camera or anything on this one. Steering wheel is leather wrapped, and you have cruise control here. There's your cruise controls on both sides. Steering, very easy and very light, yet still provides plenty of feedback. There's your wiper and indicator controls right here. Wipers work just fine. Turn signals. Coming down here, here's your parking brake release, as well as your hood release down below. And there's the parking brake right here. All you have to do is push on it just like any other pedal. It does have a manually tilting steering wheel, no telescoping on this one. Here you have your Ford logo in the middle of the steering wheel. So we'll go ahead and open up the hood and take a look at the engine. So as I said, all you have to do is pull this lever right here, and the hood will pop open. Now opening up the hood of the Crown Victoria is very easy. All you have to do is just push aside the little tab, and it does have struts and it does not need a prop bar, so that's nice. And you're greeted with Ford's familiar 4.6 liter modular V8. I'll add the power specs into the annotations. Here you have your air intake box. Runs very quiet and very smoothly. Good old Ford V8. Hood sounds very solid when you close it. So let's go ahead and jump back inside. So let's go ahead and take a look at the back seat. Back doors feel just as solid as the front. Door materials exactly the same as the front door, nothing changes. Coming into the back seat is just as comfortable as the front, if not more so. It's very, very soft and very plush. Now, knee room is a bit tight, but it's not bad at all, and I could definitely have the seat adjusted a little bit further up. Foot room is plentiful. You can see my feet have plenty of room to slide up under the seat. Middle row passengers, or middle seat passengers rather, will be a little bit cramped because of the transmission tunnel, being that this is a rear wheel drive V8 vehicle. but they won't be too bad because the rear seat is pretty wide. So let's go ahead and fold down the center armrest. It reveals dual cup holders, pretty substantial cup holders at that. It is very padded and very plush, feels very solid. And climbing out of the Crown Victoria is a very easy task. But anyways, let's go ahead and take this one for a short test drive and see how she runs. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can hear, the 4.6 liter V8 is very quiet on startup. As you can hear, this one does have automatic door locks as soon as you take off. And as you can tell, this is one of the smoothest riding vehicles on the market today. The vehicle rides very smoothly. Now, one of the first things I'm noticing is how torquey the V8 is. Alright, looks like we're good to go. Like I said, the V8 produces plenty of power, yet is still very quiet. Going down the road, you feel the engine is very, very quiet. The road noise is kept to a minimum. Wind noise is practically zero. So that's very, very nice. It helps to add to the comfortable image that the Crown Victoria has always put on. Around town, the 4.6 liter V8 shifts butter smooth, very, very smooth. The shifts are basically not noticeable unless the only reason you'd notice them is if you were listening to the engine. So as you can tell, this is one of the quietest cabins I have ever been in. The driving position is very, very good. It feels very secure. You feel like you are in control of the vehicle. It doesn't feel like you're sitting on top of it or anything like that. Looking out over the expanse of the hood is something you'll definitely have to get used to, but that's okay. Brakes are very, very good. Feel very well balanced. Brake pedal feel is excellent. One of the best I've ever felt in cars today. Rides very, very smoothly. This one does come equipped with Ford's Air Ride suspension. That's very nice. Now there is no driver assistance tech in this car or anything like that, like blind spot assistance or anything like that. But you don't really need it because visibility is spot on perfect. It's some of the best, one of the easiest cars I've ever driven, and it's just super comfortable. It makes you feel very at home, very familiar. Just drives like a good American car. As I said, brakes work perfectly. Pedal feel is incredible. Now handling, there is a bit of body roll, but this isn't a sports car. It is a cruiser, is what this is. This is an excellent highway cruiser. Power is very good. Engine feels very willing. Very, very easy car to drive. Very, very easy car to live with. It's not gonna eat up your gas bill. It's not gonna break your wallet on insurance or anything. It's just gonna be a very enjoyable and a very easy car to own. One of the things that I'm really, really liking about the car is how perfectly weighted the turn signal stalk. In this one, there's nothing it does wrong. It's an elegant looking car. It's a very easy to drive car, yet still very fun to drive. Engine sounds good, runs very strong. And as you can see, I'm on a rougher road surface and the quiet as ever. The engine and transmission are perfectly well adapted to each other. They feel perfectly matched and they work very well with each other. The transmission keeps the engine in its power band very well. I really like the digital speedometer as well. That's a very nice feature to have that helps you keep your eyes on the road for much longer. One thing this car is doing, it just makes you feel very important. It makes you feel like you have accomplished life and you've done well. The seats are wonderful. I love how comfortable the seats are. This one has about 49,000 miles on it, which is not bad at all, and still feels tight as a drum and brand new. The radio, I did listen to it on my own, and it does sound very good. The bass packs a huge punch and sounds very crisp and very clear. The air conditioning blows ice cold. You have an outside temperature thermostat. You have all the luxuries you would possibly need and then some. I'm amazed at how comfortable the seats are. I feel very at home. They make me feel very safe and secure and tight. And I'm blown away. The transmission, like I said, is perfect. Engine is wonderful. It's just awesome. This car has been averaging 22.5 miles to the gallon, so that is incredible for a V8. So like I said, it's not going to bust your gas mileage. 49,310.8 miles, and you would never know it. If I didn't know this car had that many miles, I would never guess. For those of you who know me, I've been looking at possibly purchasing a P71 version of the Crown Victoria, and this makes me want one even more after driving this. I'm very, very pleased with the build quality of the car. It feels very safe and very solid, and there is a police forces use these cars like nobody's business. They were solid as a rock, and they were always going to be there whenever they needed them, and always ready for whatever the police forces were able to throw at them, and then some. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour on this 2011 Ford Crown Victoria LX. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.